U.S. airstrikes did not destroy the main components of Iran's nuclear program, which Tehran is estimated to be able to restore within a few months. CNN reported on this, citing a U.S. intelligence report. The preliminary assessments contradict the bold statements of President Donald Trump, who claimed that the strikes had completely destroyed Iran's uranium enrichment capabilities. Additionally, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth assured that Iran's nuclear ambitions had been wiped out. However, the information leak from intelligence officials was met with resistance in the form of accusations of fabrication from officials who claimed that the report contains erroneous assessments and distorted data. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told CNN that the report was allegedly fabricated by one unreliable official. According to her, U.S. bombers dropped 14 bombs weighing 13,000 kilograms each on the Fordo facility, destroying all the equipment. She linked the information about the failure of the operation to a political agenda, an attempt to undermine Donald Trump's achievements. Despite this, additional intelligence is being gathered to provide a clearer picture of the consequences of using such powerful weapons. Israeli officials also stated that the airstrikes had insufficient effect and, according to CNN, had expected a more significant outcome. Additionally, Michael McCaul, the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee chairman, acknowledged that the strikes caused severe damage but did not completely destroy the facilities. Expert Jeffrey Lewis, who analyzed satellite images, also confirmed that key underground sites, particularly near Natanz, Isfahan, and Parchin, remained intact, allowing Iran to quickly restore its nuclear program. On June 22, 2025, the U.S. launched a combined strike on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. In total, 3 key facilities of Iran's nuclear program were targeted. One of them was Fordow, a uranium enrichment plant located in a remote mountainous area. It is considered critically important for Iran's nuclear program. Other targets included sites in Natanz and Isfahan. 6 B-2 bombers were involved in the strike on Fordow, while 1 bomber was used for the strike on Natanz. At the same time, submarines also participated in the attacks on Natanz and Isfahan, launching 30 Tomahawk cruise missiles. American strikes on Iran demonstrated how peace can be achieved in a short period of time. U.S. Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker said, "President Trump can also achieve peace through strength in Russia's war against Ukraine, because strength is the only thing Russia understands."
Shows kind of how you get that peace is through that strength. And that strength is amplified and enhanced by this alliance. The United States is about peace. President Trump is a peacemaker. And if there's now peace between Israel and Iran. We're hoping that we can get to a peace deal in the Ukraine war, which is just awful. And there's no military solution for that. So we need peace there as well.
The Optron Stavropol plant in Russia, which supplies microelectronics to the military and for Superjet aircraft, has ceased operations. The company is reportedly on the verge of bankruptcy, according to Russian media. It is reported that since March 2025, Optron Stavropol has suspended its operations. Fulfilling the state defense order resulted in losses exceeding 149 million rubles, 1.90 million. Contract deliveries were disrupted, and as of June, the company's accounts payable reached 230 million rubles, 2.94 million. As a result, the company can no longer operate. Its accounts have been frozen, and it has accumulated debts in taxes, wages, and utilities. The plant's power semiconductors are used in aviation and are installed in aircraft power systems. They are used in MiG, Tu, and Su aircraft, as well as in Sukhoi Superjet and MC-21 aircraft. According to the company's CEO, Pavel Bondarenko, the main reason for the crisis is the underpricing of products in military supply contracts. The production cost of one diode is 3,600 rubles, $46, but the military set the price at 2,600 rubles, approximately $33. As a result, losses amounted to 102 million rubles, $1.3 million in 2023, and grew to 149 million rubles, $1.9 million in 2023-2024. The company cannot cover its costs and is forced to reduce its staff, Bondarenko stated. Ukraine aims to expand its Air Force fleet with additional French Mirage 2000 jet fighters. President Volodymyr Zelensky stated this following a phone conversation with French President Emmanuel Macron. "We discussed the possibility of expanding our air fleet with additional Mirage fighter jets," Zelensky stated. In addition, the presidents discussed joint production and investment in interceptor drones. Ukraine is already using Mirage 2000 fighter jets in combat conditions. In March, it was reported that these aircraft first participated in fighting off a Russian combined missile and drone strike. At that time, a Ukrainian Mirage 2000 shot down a Kh-101 cruise missile. The first group of Ukrainian pilots and technical personnel completed training on this type of multi-role combat aircraft at the end of December 2024. According to the analytical resource French Aid to Ukraine, the training lasted 6 months. Ukraine is expected to receive between 12 and 20 Mirage 2005 F fighter jets as part of French military assistance. Meanwhile, it is not ruled out that this number could increase, for example, through the transfer of aircraft from the French Air and Space Force, or potentially from Greece. Before delivery, the jets underwent necessary modifications, particularly adaptation for engaging ground targets. According to media reports, the Ukrainian Mirage 2000-5 F fighter jets will be capable of using precision weaponry, including the French-British SCALPEG/Storm Shadow cruise missiles and French AASM guided bombs. Chancellor Merz commented on Putin's statement that he considers Russia and Ukraine to be one people. "It is not the peaceful solution to give in to aggression and to give up your own country. This is not the peace we want, and this is not the peace we want in Ukraine."
The Russian president stated a few days ago in a speech at the annual economic forum in St. Petersburg, once again, that Russians and Ukrainians are one people. And literally, the whole of Ukraine belongs to us. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, in this situation, yielding to aggression and giving up one's own country is not the peace-creating solution. That is not the peace we want, and that is not the peace Ukraine wants.
The Russian aerospace forces have taken delivery of a new batch of Su-35S multi-role fighter jets. Russian United Aircraft Corporation has informed about this and also released photos of the aircraft. Images confirm that the latest delivery includes 2 jets. Following a full testing cycle, the aircraft were flown from the production facility in Komsomolsk-on-Amur to their base airfield. This marks the 3rd Su-35S delivery to Russia's Air Force in 2025. Previous handovers took place in May and late March. The production is part of a major defense procurement program announced in 2024, with deliveries scheduled through 2030. Until recently, the Su-35S was produced solely for the Russian military. However, recent reports indicate that units are now also being supplied to Algeria. On June 7th, the Ukrainian Air Force shot down a Russian Su-35S near the village of Urasavoye in Russia's Kursk region after the aircraft approached the Ukrainian border. The UK Ministry of Defense has confirmed an order for 12 F-35A fighter jets to support NATO's nuclear deterrence forces. The UK Ministry of Defense reported on this. The new fighter jets will not be part of an expansion of the initial program, but will replace 12 F-35B aircraft originally planned for purchase as part of the 138 jet procurement program. The main reason behind this decision was the expansion of the United Kingdom's role in nuclear deterrence forces, both nationally and as part of NATO's nuclear umbrella. In an age of radical uncertainty, we can no longer take peace for granted. That is why my government is investing in national security, equipping our armed forces with what they need, and ensuring communities across the country benefit from the dividends of defense, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer stated. The F-35A jets being procured will serve, among other roles, as carriers of US-made B-61 nuclear bombs. Unlike the F-35B version, the F-35A has been certified to deploy these weapons from land-based airfields. The Ministry of Defense also noted that acquiring the F-35A will not negatively impact the logistical support of the aircraft fleet. On the contrary, by foregoing the additional systems required for short takeoff and vertical landing, as found in the F-35B, the unit cost of each aircraft will be reduced by approximately 25%. The program is also expected to support 20,000 jobs across the UK. Over 100 British suppliers, including BAE Systems, Cobham, GE Aviation, Honeywell, Martin Baker, MBDA, Shinetti Q, Rolls-Royce, Leonardo UK, Ultra Electronics, and EDM Limited, will contribute to its implementation. It's worth noting that, according to initial plans, the United Kingdom intended to purchase only the F-35B version, which, if necessary, could operate from the country's 2 aircraft carriers. However, the F-35B was not certified to carry nuclear bombs due to restrictions introduced in the 1990s. Under those agreements, carrier-based aircraft and surface ships were prohibited from being equipped with nuclear weapons. This is the key reason behind the decision to procure the F-35A version instead. Additionally, a major advantage for NATO is that all F-35A fighter jets can technically deploy B-61 nuclear bombs. This capability will allow for broader integration of Allied air forces into NATO's nuclear deterrence mission in the future. Militarny previously reported that U.S. nuclear weapons could return to the United Kingdom for the first time in nearly 2 decades. The decision to restore nuclear capability for U.S. aircraft stationed in Britain was made back in 2021, according to reports, and the proposals gained momentum after Russia invaded Ukraine 3 years ago.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.